Have you ever wondered what it takes to bring a powerful empire to its knees? We're talking about civilizations that built wonders, conquered vast lands, and shaped the world we live in today. From the mighty Romans to the brilliant Mayans, history is littered with the ruins of once great powers. So, what happened? What secret force could topple these giants? The answer is often more complex and fascinating than you might think. Let's start with a classic culprit: invasion. It's the Hollywood blockbuster version of history. Barbarians at the gates, epic battles, the fall of a city. This was certainly a huge factor for empires like the Western Roman Empire. For decades, they faced increasing pressure from various Germanic tribes, and in 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. Rome itself was sacked. This event sent shock waves through the ancient world. It wasn't just a military defeat, it was a psychological blow that shattered the myth of Roman invincibility. But here's the twist. These invasions were often the final push, not the whole story. The empire was already weakened from the inside. Which brings us to internal decay. Imagine an empire as a giant, intricate machine. If one part starts to rust, the whole thing can eventually break down. Political instability was a major issue. In Rome, the 3rd century was a period of absolute chaos, with over 20 emperors in just 50 years, most of whom were assassinated. When leaders are too busy fighting each other for power, they can't effectively govern, defend the borders, or manage the economy. This leads to corruption, civil wars, and a loss of public trust. People start to wonder, who's actually in charge? And why should I care? When loyalty to the state evaporates, the foundations of the empire begin to crumble. Then there's the money. Running an empire is incredibly expensive. You need money for the army, for building roads and aqueducts, and for a massive bureaucracy. Many empires, including Spain in the 16th and 17th centuries, overextended themselves. They spent fortunes on endless wars and lavish projects, often funded by plundering new lands or devaluing their currency. For Rome, they stopped expanding, which meant the flow of gold and slaves dried up. To pay the bills, they started putting less silver in their coins, which led to rampant inflation. Sound familiar? When money loses its value and taxes become unbearable, the economy grinds to a halt. Trade collapses, farms are abandoned, and the entire system falls apart. But what if the enemy is something you can't even see? Let's talk about disease and climate change. Yes, even ancient empires weren't immune. Plagues swept through the Roman Empire, like the Antonine Plague in the 2nd century, which wiped out a significant portion of the population, including soldiers. A smaller army and fewer farmers made the empire much more vulnerable. Similarly, evidence suggests that a prolonged period of severe drought hit the Mayan civilization in the 9th century. In a society that depended heavily on agriculture for its survival and religious authority, a climate catastrophe that led to crop failures and famine could have been the final, devastating blow, forcing people to abandon their magnificent stone cities. So, as you can see, there's no single reason why empires fall. It's usually a deadly cocktail of factors. External pressures, internal rot, economic collapse, and even environmental disaster all play their part. A strong empire might be able to withstand one of these, but when they all hit at once, it creates a perfect storm. It's a powerful lesson from history. True strength isn't just about military might, it's about resilience, adaptability, and a stable foundation. What do you think is the biggest threat to civilizations today? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more historical deep dives. See you next time.